Welcome to today's show, Solar Flares, a warning for humanity, part 2 of 2. Our Sun's 25th solar cycle is showing more dramatic space weather than astronomers had foreseen. Between 2023 and 2025, the Sun is moving into a more active period in its solar cycle, which could bring yet more energetic solar flares, some of which could point towards our planet.
This has been a tumultuous time for our sun. Science Alert reports that it's been extremely active since around mid-January, firing off blasts of energy through coronal mass ejections almost every day. And now the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Space Weather Prediction Center says some of those flares are likely going to hit Earth. Experts say that the resulting storms should cause problems with high-frequency radio signals in the far north, and some satellites may need slight corrections after orbiting through the flare's path. In fact, just last month, that's exactly what happened to 49 SpaceX satellites, shortly after they were launched into orbit, knocking them out of the sky completely.
With increased activity, scientists worry about the recurrence of Carrington-level flares that would have a substantial impact on life on Earth and our technology, especially objects in space. If a similar event were to happen today, it could cause trillions of dollars worth of damage, trigger widespread blackouts, and endanger thousands of lives.
When the Carrington event enveloped Earth in the 19th century, technologies of the day were hardly sensitive to electromagnetic disturbances. Modern society, on the other hand, is deeply dependent on sun-sensitive technologies such as GPS, satellite communications, and the Internet. The effect of such a storm on our modern technologies would be tremendous.
However, the Carrington event was not the largest solar storm known to have happened in history. Studies reveal solar superflares, flares erupting from sun-like stars of colossal proportions striking Earth in ancient times that were likely 10 to 100 times greater. A 2021 study found that even more recently, over the course of 4 years, 15 sun-like stars released 26 superflares of 100 times greater magnitude than the Carrington event. These events are understood to happen once every few thousand years.
Normal-size flares are common on the Sun, but scientists say there is some possibility that we could experience superflares in the next 100 years or so. The reason why young stars are more active is that they rotate much faster, and that's why they generate more powerful flares. The same happened with the Sun when it was much younger, but scientists are puzzled to find out that large flares can occur on the modern Sun. If a superflare erupted from the Sun, Earth would likely sit in the path of a wave of high-energy radiation. Such a blast could disrupt electronics across the globe, causing widespread blackouts and shorting out communication satellites in orbit.
Still, the rates at which our Sun may erupt at a Carrington scale or greater are not well understood, as Dr. Hugh Hudson, a solar physicist at the University of Glasgow in Scotland, said. But experts warn that cataclysmic solar storms are a certainty in the foreseeable future. Fortunately, Earth is surrounded by an immense magnetic field called the magnetosphere, which is generated by powerful dynamic forces at the center of our planet. The magnetosphere prevents the erosion of our atmosphere by the solar wind and also protects us from charged particles ejected by the Sun and cosmic rays from deep space.
Our Sun is constantly hurling deadly radiation out towards us. Only our magnetic shield, the magnetosphere, saves us. Without it, the solar wind would blow our atmosphere away, and without an atmosphere, liquid water could not exist on the surface.
But Earth's magnetosphere isn't a perfect defense. Rare, enormous geomagnetic storms can produce solar wind powerful enough to penetrate our atmosphere. That was the case on December 19, 2022, when a mysterious shock wave in a gust of solar wind sent a barrage of charged particles into Earth's magnetic field, opening a crack in the magnetosphere. The gap remained open for hours, enabling some solar material to stream through and disrupt satellites, radio communications, and power systems. Despite its impact, this event may not even scratch the surface of what the Sun is capable of hurling at us. What is the spiritual significance behind these threatening solar events? In 2012, Sadhguru, a renowned yogi and mystic, spoke about dynamic changes in the Sun in the coming years as creating a greater possibility for unprecedented changes in human consciousness.
There has been such a dynamic change in the sunspots. So whenever such changes happen in the Sun or in the pattern of the way the Sun functions, always it has been found phenomenal changes happen in human consciousness. Now, the sunspots will definitely create some kind of volatile energy, but how it will work out for human beings is left to us. If we have a plan, any volatile situation is also a possibility because things are mobile, things are more fluid. This is the time to craft things the way we want. So it is a possibility.
Interestingly, there is an interconnectedness in the energy output of all beings within the universe. We are like tiny specks in a giant spaceship of energy rising or crashing together, each with the ability to influence our destiny. Whether we may know it or not, the presence of spiritual masters, highly compassionate and attuned beings, have played a major part in uplifting humanity's consciousness, thus forming lines of protection around our planet. On October 3, 2010, during a video conference with the Supreme Master Television staff in Los Angeles, California, our gracious Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, shared her invaluable insights on solar flares, solar storms, and the spiritual meaning behind these events.
If the flare was bigger and has a very big effect, then what would happen? It could be worse, you know already. We have been fortunate because the other planetary beings, you know, those you call aliens, have tried to help us. It could have been worse, okay? That's why it's not so bad, all right? The fifth level beings are only there to give us spiritual benefit and upliftment and happiness. But unfortunately, we sometimes abuse it. We are not making ourselves worthy of all this help, you see? So we have all this violent atmosphere because of war, because of hatred, because of mass murdering animal people, etc., etc. Yes, and abusing the environment. We are killing too much. So we attract this kind of flare, you understand? It's us, the humans, who attract it, the flare, okay?
Yes,
and if we continue, it could be worse than that. It's just a warning only. Just a warning. It could be worse, all right?
Yes,
so I always tell everybody, please, pay more attention to moral standards. Please be more compassionate. Please be more virtuous, yeah? Love each other, peace, no war, no killing. Vegan, that is to protect everybody.
Our sincere gratitude, most compassionate Supreme Master Ching Hai, for your profound wisdom and guidance, reminding us of the benevolent and virtuous paths. We pray that humankind will quickly heed the warning signs from the Sun by living harmoniously in universal brotherhood and adopting the peace-loving vegan diet so that life on our beautiful planet may be sustained.
We know that pigs are much more sensitive with smell than humans are. And could you imagine living your entire life smelling ammonia day in and day out in a darkened room? Children don't know that those pigs don't get out to play in the mud, that those pigs are just products and treated like inanimate products. So they lead tortured lives. Casey Kasem, vegan.
Thank you, cherished viewers, for being with us today.